Hi, this is Janet, and welcome to the monthly book review from the West End Library in Laurelton, Pennsylvania. This month I will be reviewing a book by a very popular author, John Grisham, and the book is The Pelican Brief. Now, this is an older book, basically from 1992, but it's one of my go-to books when I need to fill in a gap in my book selection. I think I may have read this a dozen times and it never gets stale. There are pertinent and current items brought up in the book, ones that will probably never change, monetary greed and disregard for the world around us. The movie is also a repeat go-to for me and does follow the book closely. In the story, 2 Supreme Court justices are murdered, and the storyline revolves around why. This why leads to a much bigger storyline. A young law student's professor was an admirer of the one judge murdered, and the student, Darby, begins to do extensive digging and research to try and uncover why. She writes a brief with her theory and shares it with her professor. The professor goes to Washington for the judge's memorial service and shares the brief with a friend he has in the FBI. From this moment on, it's a non-stop action intertwining Darby, the professor, the FBI, the CIA, and all the way to the president. What turns out to be a research project for Darby turns the government upside down. Darby is witness to a murder of which she had been the intended victim and now has to go into hiding, moving around as carefully as she can. When the FBI agent is also murdered, then her running becomes totally for survival, and the ante is upped for the FBI and other agencies to quickly resolve the issue. Darby turns to an ambitious news reporter whom her law professor was a fan of. Together they begin to piece together the background of the murdered judges, their agenda which points to the reason for their murders, law firms, the environment, big, dirty money, and eventually to the president. The news reporter, Gray Grantham, who works for the Washington Post, is the only person who believes Darby. A real-life cat-and-mouse game is taking place just to keep Darby safe, get the facts, and get that information to the Washington Post and the FBI. The storyline is one that is truly applicable today, that big money talks at the expense of anyone or anything, and a lot of times the general public has no clue what is going on, especially in government circles or even in daily endeavors. I wanted to review this book because of it being written by one of my favorite time authors, and it also has led me to continue reading John Grisham novels. I would suggest, if you haven't already, give John Grisham a try. Hopefully you will enjoy reading his works as well as I do.